Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Saturday, February 25th, 2023. I'm Lance Brock to talk some pro wrestling with you today here on this, well, it's not snowing right now, but it snowed a little overnight. So do have some on the ground walking through a little bit right now. In case you missed it, last night's new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, episode 366, talking about Impact Wrestling's No Surrender card from last night, as well as WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage. Just to kind of, not going to recap all the shows again, but just real quick to talk about Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer again after the Busted Open Live, where Bully Ray threw the coffee in Dreamer's face, attacked him, attacked Dave LaGreca. I mentioned last night on Wrestling Fanatic that I think this is going to build to some kind of hardcore type of match, possibly Rebellion, or if not, maybe March 24th, I believe, for Sacrifice, the next Impact Plus special from Impact Wrestling. I would think they would probably, for this is supposed to be built of like a blow off of this feud between Dreamer and Bully Ray, they would probably want to save it for a bigger show, so we could possibly see that at Rebellion in April. But the question is, what kind of match would it be if they do? Could it be possibly an I Quit match, or a last man standing match? Possibly something like one of those, since these two have a long history together, and this could be the final end of their rivalry, or possibly, depending on how long of a run Bully Ray is going to have here in Impact Wrestling this time, could possibly be could add a step. Loser leaves Impact on this match if Bully isn't sticking around, possibly. Also, as I just mentioned, March 24th, I believe, is the next Impact Plus special, Sacrifice. And right now we do know that Steve Maclin is the number one contender for the Impact World Championship, and that Josh Alexander retained against Rich Swann in the main event of No Surrender last night. So it's possible that we could see Steve Maclin and Josh Alexander headline Sacrifice before we get to Rebellion. Don't get me wrong, Steve Maclin, very good in the ring, but I think there is a little bit of work needed to be done before he's really ready to be there in the main event picture, challenging for the world title. But like I said, Sacrifice, not quite an actual pay-per-view Impact Plus. I think, yeah, that could work out. I hope Impact does a good job before then, building them up and making him look like he can be a main eventer who headlines shows. And last night, also on SmackDown, Jey Uso still hasn't fully chose a side just yet, whether if he's going to side with the Bloodline or Sami Zayn. But when they showed the replay, you could see when Sami Zayn was exiting through the crowd that him and Jey Uso did exchange a look at each other real quick. But what does that exactly mean, though? When SmackDown went off the air, Jey Uso was still standing there at ringside. Jimmy and Solo were in the ring. This could possibly go, if that tag team match does happen at WrestleMania, as it's been talked about, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on the Usos. Adam Pearce could possibly just end up making the match, and then we could find out where he wants to side with at WrestleMania, and that could decide the winners of the match, whether he helps his brother Jimmy and then they defeat Owens and Zayn, or he decides that he actually has had enough of the Bloodline. And I don't know if he actually attacks Jimmy Uso, but maybe if he walks out costing Jimmy Uso the match against Owens and Zayn, and maybe he doesn't even side with Sami Zayn, or maybe he decides he's had enough of all the trouble and the drama and stuff like that, and he wants to go out on his own. I'm not sure how likely that is of happening, but you never know. And no Roman Reigns on SmackDown last night, but Paul Heyman was in the back, and one of the segments he told Jey Uso to handle his brother next week, or the tribal chief will. And it has been announced also that there will be multiple premium live events in May, 2 of them being the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring, which I believe would be the second Queen of the Ring, the first one being won by Zelina Vega, and she had that little run as Queen Zelina. Now she returned without the Queen gimmick, but King of the Ring, they are bringing it back, and I hope this time, because every once in a while, yeah, they do bring it back. Sometimes they try to bring it back, but every time lately they have brought it back, they act like it's this big deal at first, and then they really push the guy who wins it as king, whoever, and then they kind of it dies down and loses a lot of steam, and then eventually they get rid of the king gimmick for whoever wins it, such as the most recent one, Baron Corbin, which I wasn't really that bad, but it definitely wasn't really anything that great either. Like I said, eventually ended up dying down, and that's when he went into the hole where he lost everything and then came back as Happy Corbin, and then I'm sure everybody knows the rest with what happened to Baron Corbin. So I hope that with this King of the Ring, that they do put it on someone that they want to push to the moon and may possibly make into a main eventer. But we will just have to wait and see how that goes. Hopefully they'll do it right this time. The Queen of the Ring too. Hopefully they'll find somebody that they want to push, and then they could put the crown on them and have them be Queen of the Ring, and then possibly have them either challenge for the Raw or the SmackDown Women's Championship, and have them win it, maybe whoever the champions are at the time, and give them a good run with the title, and make the titles, the King and the Queen of the Ring, important, and make it seem like if this was real, something that the superstars would actually want to win. But like I said, lately it's been a while since the King of the Ring has really meant anything the last times they have done it. So that is all for this morning's episode of GMWF. Thank you everyone for tuning in right here on Spreaker or wherever you are listening. It is appreciated. Remember, stay tuned for more episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the Sunday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Hope everyone has a good day. And if you're here in Michigan, hope you have power because there was a lot of power outages here in Michigan from the ice storm thing. So hope everybody is doing okay and stay safe. Till next time, keep watching pro wrestling.